Hi YouTube, it's Jim from County Corvette. I have a very special car today. This is a 2020, the brand new Corvette. The mid-engine Corvette is finally here in the used car market. They've been talking about this car for 50, 60 years. Duntov was trying to build this car, and here it is. It's finally here, and we have them for sale. This is a pilot car, one of 700, number 521 out of 700. This car was a factory show car, exhibit car, and my friend who's a dealer out in the Midwest, he got this car with 12 miles on it, and because he is a dealer, he's specifically Corvettes and buys a lot of cars for us, he wanted to have one. This was his excuse to me anyway, I can't blame him. He wanted to drive the car, put some miles on it, get to know it, get the options, you know, and really get a good feel for how these cars should be brand new. And he had it for a couple months and used it. I think he put about 800 or so miles on it, and it's perfect. There's no wear and tear on the car, and this is an LT2. So, and a Z51. So this is a really well optioned car. Also, this car has the ground effects, the CV2, I believe it is an option, and it's called visible carbon fiber because they sell that painted and as an option, and they also have it visible, which most people want. The problem is the supplier on them, I don't know exactly what happened, but they couldn't make them, and they stopped offering that option. I've heard that they have started back with it, but this is a pretty rare car because of it. So I'd like to go over some of the options on this car because I know a lot of you guys don't know how anything works on them. So you know, with the basics, let's just go through it a little bit. 295 front tires on it, and 305s in the back. That is the Z51 package, and I'll get into the Z51 options and what they include. It's mind-boggling. It'll blow you away what some of these features have on this car. Another cool thing with this car was, and I don't know if this is a rumor, I want it to be true because it's just so cool. They got the GM engineers together with the marketing people when they created this concept. And the marketing guys put it in general terms. Build it for a 14-year-old boy. And you might think, well, why is that? You know, not too many 14-year-old boys can afford a car. No, but a lot of 14-year-old boys can influence dad to buy a car. And then, hey, if dad had the car when they were 14, you know they want one. It's brilliant. It's brilliant marketing. And it's actually brilliant because it pulls in a whole new generation of buyers, potential buyers, a lot of interest, you know, a lot of, you know, just general hype and enthusiasm about these cars. I have a 13-year-old son, and I'm in a pretty cool business, and generally speaking, he doesn't care much about it. Until I got this. Suddenly I have his attention. So I think they once again, just with that alone, they nailed it. Car has self-starting, middle button, hit it twice. It starts. Shut it off. You have the frunk, I still call it a hood, but you can hit that twice. That opens it up. You also have a button here that opens it up, and you've got some decent storage in here. Not a lot, but some. This has the factory floor mats. Now all the wrapping is still on this car. It still has all the plastic on the floors. It still has some factory designations with numbers and such on the windshield. We wanted to keep the car, you know, as new as possible. It's being sold as a used car, but it still has a 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and a 5-year powertrain warranty. Okay, same thing in the back here. You've got the hatch. That opens up that way, and then you have another one down in here. And it's you know, real self-opening, just assist it. And If you haven't seen inside here yet, it's really a sight to behold. GM has finally made the mid-engine Corvette, and there it is. This is the LT2, and it is coupled to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This is some nice storage in the back here. You can get 2 sets of golf clubs back here. Also, the roof removes and stores back here. You have 2 brackets, and then it attaches up in here. Getting in the car, much like the prior generations with the touchpad. Again, this thing still has plastic on it. This is covered here with plastic. The interior in this car is it's really well done. This has the Bose 10-speaker sound system, and as I said, it's the LT2 trim package with the Z51, and it offers a lot of cool amenities. This cockpit, all the controls are located here, and there's quite a few of them. You know, it takes a little while to get acclimated with buttons. Now, of course, on the steering wheel, you've got really all the controls you need. You have obviously your paddle shift. This is again an 8-speed automatic dual clutch transmission. Now the screen in here, I'll start this thing up. The screen is real intuitive. Everything in here is very, very intuitive to use. I found it to be very simple just jumping in it. I didn't read the owner's manual in this car. I know a little bit about them as it is, but everything is just very well laid out, very simple to understand, and you know, you can almost jump in this car and drive it. If you've driven a late model GM, it's really not much different than what they have in even the trucks. Now, one of the things that they do have in here is the rear view mirror. Actually is a rear view mirror which you can't see much out of, but then it has a camera in it, and then you can adjust that up and down. It's really quite amazing. And then of course you have your backup. Now your selector, this is unlike anything GM's put out before. It takes a little while to get your head around it and get used to it, but it's very simple. Reverse is just up like that, and then of course you have your backup camera with varying different settings in here, and you know, you can play with that until you're comfortable with it. This is just the actual bottom view, which is all I needed to jump in this car and just drive it. You know, I took my time obviously, but I got used to this thing real quick. So that's that, and then neutral's here, and then of course drive is here, and it's just that simple, and that's your manual shift. So you know, those features are, again, it's just something. This is a car you could jump in and drive without an owner's manual. I wouldn't suggest that. I would certainly suggest you get to learn about it either through other videos. This is your Z51 option, and this is cool. This Z here lights up, and it just changes, you know, this entire dynamic of the car. It automatically changed the exhaust. It turns it into a race car. This is a race car. You can call it what you want. I'm going to tell you, it's a race car. When you put it into Z mode, you transform this car from a driver to a track car. Now, if you've seen my videos here, I typically jump on the highway right away. But I'm going to take this car for a little ride down our road here. It's got some nice turns in it, and I'm just going to get a little feel for the car. This thing's nice and smooth. I don't feel any bumping, you know, extraordinary harsh ride here. Now, granted, it's in tour mode, and that's the way it should be. And again, we're on Pennsylvania roads, which they're just not good. And even here, like if we were in a C4, a Z51 C4, this thing would be shaking me senseless. I'd want to turn around and go back. It's got a very neutral feel to it. Unlike the previous front engine cars, you can feel that this thing's balanced differently. The other thing is the visibility out of the front and sides in this thing is spectacular. Now, I can't see much out behind me, but with the camera and the rear view mirror simulating my rear view, I feel like I'm in a bigger car. It's actually kind of cool. It took a couple seconds to get used to seeing it. But I think I'd like to take this thing on a nice long road trip. We'll start with the USA, and then maybe we'll find our way over to Europe in one of these things. I'm sure a car like this would sell instantly in Europe. So we're going to go to the Z51 mode here, and it just kind of comes across as a whole sinister transition, kind of a light red glow in the background here. Kind of transforms the car. I feel the suspension tightening up. The downshifts are a little crisper. And the head-up display turned into a tachometer, which is the main focus here, and a G scale. Let's see how many G's this thing pulls. Okay. Okay, well that's fully meeting my expectation. This thing just goes so fast, so quick. It was actually hard to discern how fast I was going. And I got to tell you, it was almost 100 miles an hour, and that's really without trying. The Z51 mode, this thing shifts way better and way faster than I could with a manual transmission. I know guys still want to shift these cars, but you're just not going to do better than this 8-speed dual clutch transmission. And you can still paddle shift it if you want. That's up to you. But that's where the future's at. I'm sure at some point, there will be people that won't want a car like this because it doesn't have a shifter in it. And I get it. But I'll tell you what, I would take it for a drive before you make that determination. All right, well, thanks for joining me on this test drive. I've had a little bit of fun. I think I want to drive this car a little bit more and get to know it a little bit better. But as of now, this is just a cool car, and good luck to the next owner. I think you're going to be real happy with it. Thanks again for watching, and please subscribe.